Have you ever stopped to think that maybe the best way to live longer is to live like a child? It may seem strange, I know. We grow up believing that to be healthy and long-lived we need to follow 1,000 rules. Eat right, work out every day, take supplements, meditate, cut out this, that, control ourselves constantly. But what if I told you that maybe the answer lies in the opposite direction? In unlearning a little. In remembering what it was like to live when we were little, without guilt, without a timer, without goals. Just living. Just imagine. Playing more, laughing out loud at silly things, walking barefoot on the grass, sleeping when you're feeling sleepy, running for no reason, asking questions without fear of looking foolish, truly feeling things. It sounds like childish things, right? And it is. But this is exactly what can make your body function better, your heart beat more lightly, and your mind slow down. And I'm not the one saying this. Science has shown that many typical childhood behaviors activate areas of the brain linked to pleasure, creativity, stress reduction, and even heart health. It's not about becoming a child again, of course, but about allowing yourself to reconnect with this lighter, more instinctive way of being. Childhood, in one way or another, taught us how to live well. We just forgot it amidst the adult rush. We forgot that laughing at yourself can be healing. That playing is as important as producing. That sleeping well is more revolutionary than networking. That saying, I didn't like it, without guilt is sometimes pure freedom. What if true longevity isn't found in zero-sugar labels or miracle capsules, but in the way you live each day? What if the true health revolution is relearning to play with life? In today's video, I'll show you why perhaps childhood shouldn't be left behind, and what happens when you decide to reclaim this way of life, even as an adult, even with bills, even with everything. Because it might be precisely this that makes you live longer and better. Shall we? Subscribe to the channel and come relearn how to play with life, because living lightly can be your greatest longevity hack. Childhood has a magic that we only truly realize after we grow up, and we miss it. It's a time when everything seems lighter, more present, freer. Children don't worry about what people will think if they laugh out loud, run barefoot, or make up a crazy story just for fun. They are 100% in the now. And this, without exaggeration, is a powerful way of living, perhaps the closest thing to a long and healthy life. Adults, on the other hand, live on autopilot. They wake up in a hurry, rush to work, complete tasks, face demands. The mind is in the future, the body tired of the present, and the soul? Sometimes it doesn't even know where it left off. This repetitive, tense, and relentless routine gradually takes an invisible toll. It's not just fatigue, it's cellular. Literally. Research shows that chronic stress, typical of adulthood, erodes telomeres, the structures that protect our DNA. And when these telomeres shorten too much, aging accelerates. Meanwhile, children live in a way that protects these same telomeres. They sleep well, move naturally, express themselves genuinely, laugh with their whole body. They feel everything intensely and then let it out. Have you noticed? Children fight, cry, get frustrated, and 2 minutes later they're jumping up and down again, as if nothing had happened. Adults hold everything back, hurt, anger, frustration. They store it all away, accumulate it, swallow it hard. And this accumulation, oddly enough, weighs on their health, their energy, their longevity. So it's worth thinking, when was the last time you ran just for the sake of running? Laughed out loud, felt joy for no reason, slept without guilt? Childhood may not be gone for good. Maybe it's just waiting for a space to return. Science is discovering what we may already have known intuitively, that living a light, curious, and playful life, like a child, is surprisingly good for the body and mind. Research on neuroplasticity, for example, shows that the brain stays young when we play, explore, and experience new things frequently. This isn't just poetry, it's physiology. The playful spirit activates brain regions associated with creativity, memory, and emotional regulation. What's more, these same areas are directly linked to the prevention of diseases like Alzheimer's, depression, and anxiety. In other words, laughing for no reason, making up stories, learning out of curiosity rather than obligation. All of this can be more therapeutic than it seems. And it doesn't stop there. While many adults view physical activity as a scheduled obligation, today is arm day, tomorrow is leg day. Children move spontaneously, naturally. They jump, run, spin, climb, fall, and get up. And this free movement has a profound effect on the cardiovascular system, hormonal balance, and immunity. A study by Harvard Medical School points out that playful activities, done with pleasure, reduce cortisol levels, the famous stress hormone, more effectively than mandatory, unenjoyable exercises. Another study, from Stanford University, showed that people who maintain creative and playful habits throughout their lives have a lower risk of cognitive decline in old age. And if we look at the Call's blue zones, regions of the world where people live longer and better, such as Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, and Nicoya, Costa Rica, one thing is clear. In these communities, life is lighter, more social, more playful. There, the elderly still play with their grandchildren, plant with their hands in the soil, tell stories with a twinkle in their eyes, and move without even realizing they're exercising. Nothing there is performance. Everything is experience. And perhaps this is the key point. Modern science is only confirming what children and centenarians have always known, that living well has more to do with lightness and curiosity than with control and effort. And maybe, just maybe, your health is also waiting for this reconnection with simplicity. The good news is that you don't need to radically overhaul your life to start feeling the effects of this childlike lightness. Some simple habits, which you may have left behind in childhood, can be recaptured today. And best of all, without the need for money, apps, or courses. Remember that time you used to paint, draw, ride your bike, or even invent games on your own. Well, yes, it's still within you. Playing without purpose, just for the pleasure of it, stimulates areas of the brain linked to creativity, reduces anxiety, and improves time perception. It's as if the world slowed down for a few minutes, just because you decided to play. And eating? Children eat mindfully. You observe the dish, taste it, and savor the flavors. As adults, we often eat in front of our phones, automatically, without even realizing it's over. Recovering the habit of eating with presence, that mindful eating, improves digestion, regulates satiety hormones, and even brings more pleasure to the moment. Sleeping without guilt is another superpower that childhood possessed. Children feel sleepy and sleep. Adults feel sleepy and fight it. They try to be productive until the last second. But sleep, when properly respected, is one of the most powerful pillars of longevity. And you know that curious look that questions everything? It can return too. Replacing judgment with curiosity changes the way you see the world and how the world responds to you. Being spontaneous, laughing at silly things, talking to someone out of the blue, asking simple questions, all these are ways to revive this light and authentic spirit. And there's more. Children connect with sincerity. They don't make small talk just to appear interesting. They look you in the eye, laugh together, cry if they want to. This genuine, unfiltered connection is one of the purest ways to nourish the heart. Recovering this way of relating, even in small doses, can bring you not only greater emotional health, but also a sense of belonging that many people miss today. These habits don't require you to become a child again, but rather allow your inner child to re-emerge in your daily life. Little by little, with ease. Comment here. I promise to live like a child, even if it's just to run for no reason and laugh at silly things. We grow up hearing that maturing means leaving behind the nonsense of childhood, that a true adult is serious, focused, and efficient, that they need to always be busy, always solving something. The problem is that, amidst this well-constructed script, many people fall ill without understanding. The idea that being mature means being tense all the time gradually tightens the screws on our bodies and minds. We begin to judge ourselves for laughing out loud, for improvising, for being spontaneous. And worse, we begin to distance ourselves from everything that doesn't seem useful. Even pleasure becomes a chore. Even rest becomes guilt. It's as if being an adult means shelving one's feelings, hiding emotions, disguising desire, feigning control, suppressing tears, holding back laughter, ignoring fatigue. And all of this, over time, takes a heavy toll. Emotional repression, for example, doesn't disappear, it builds up. And when it builds up too much, it manifests as anxiety, insomnia, chest pain, unwarranted irritation. Not to mention the abandonment of intuition. Children feel and act. Adults feel, analyze, question, doubt, postpone, and often paralyze. But is this truly maturity, or just fear in formal wear? We were taught that growing up means stopping playing, but they didn't tell us that playing is an antidote to stress. They convinced us that laughing for no reason is immature, but they forgot to mention that laughter regulates well-being hormones. They trained us to control everything, even our emotions, as if life were a military mission. But living isn't about control. Living is about flow. And when we push too hard to fit into this functional adult model, we move away from our own essence. And then comes the question no one asks. Is this adult way of living really what prolongs life? Or does it just help us survive with a shortened shelf life? Maybe the rigidity they call responsibility is making us sick. And maybe it's time to disobey this manual a little. Not to become a child again, but to remember that maturing can also mean keeping a light heart, and not just a busy schedule. Imagine if, instead of trying to fix everything with medication or productivity spreadsheets, you created a little childhood time in your day. Nothing grand, just about 15 minutes to play, laugh, let loose, however you can. It could be listening to music and dancing without worrying about whether you're on the beat. It could be coloring, jumping rope, riding a bike, playing video games, making faces in the mirror. The important thing isn't what you do, but how you feel while doing it. Light, free, even a little silly, and that's okay. This activates a part of you that, even hidden, is still there, your inner child. And it has enormous power to balance hormones, release tension, and renew your spirit. Another powerful thing is getting back in touch with the real world. And when I say real, I mean nature, sky, ground, wind. Walking barefoot on grass or sand, basking in the morning sun, feeling the rain fall on your face. All of this reconnects your body with rhythms it understands. Children don't need a reason to run, climb, or roll. Their bodies move because they feel like it. And you can reclaim this. Spend more time outdoors, put your phone away for a moment, and just be. This already begins to change your internal chemistry, reduce stress, strengthen your immune system, and even improve your sleep. And you know what the most important part is? Giving permission. Permission to laugh more, question more, feel more. Adults often think they need to have an answer for everything, a stance for everything, a filter for everything. But life isn't just about getting the right answers. It's also about allowing yourself to feel wrong from time to time. It's about accepting not knowing, changing your mind, saying, I don't know, and being surprised by something new. Children do this all the time, and that's exactly what keeps your mind open, your heart light, and your body healthier. Ultimately, transforming your daily routine doesn't have to be a project. It can be a series of micro-choices, swapping the elevator for the stairs while playing spy, using colored pens at work, eating a piece of fruit as if for the first time, laughing out loud at a silly video, giving someone a hearty hug. All of this, combined, awakens the part of you that knows how to live with more pleasure. And that, ultimately, is one of the most beautiful ways to take charge of your own life. Perhaps the great turning point in longevity isn't in doing everything right, but in feeling everything more truly. Swapping excessive rules for a little more presence. Laughing when you feel like it, even if no one else finds it funny. Walking slowly, aimlessly, just to see what happens. Playing with the day like someone playing with Play-Doh, without fear of messing up the shape. Living like a child isn't about going backward. It's about remembering where life was pointing before signs were plastered everywhere. What if that's what's missing? Comment here. I choose to live lightly. And share this video with someone who also needs to remember who they were before the world got so tight. Like, subscribe to the channel, and click on the video right here, because there I'll show you an old habit that centenarians still use today, and that you can bring back too. See you there.